Hello and welcome to our regular look ahead to the weekend's Super 6. In a moment, by the way, I've got news of how you can win yourself £1,000 in our Super 6 Sunday special. That's to come a bit later. Let's concentrate on the main event of the weekend. £100,000 at stake once again. £5,000 consolation prize. Remember, it is absolutely free to play. Now, this week's Super 6 come 3 from the Premier League and 3 from the Championship. Our Premier League games are Aston Villa against West Bromwich Albion, big Midlands derby, of course, Bolton against Sunderland, and Newcastle United against Wigan Athletic. And for the Championship, we're looking at Blackpool against Nottingham Forest, Leicester against Millwall, and Middlesbrough against Derby County. Let's start in the Premier League, though, in that Midlands derby at Villa Park. West Bromwich Albion, it's been a long time since they've won at the Villa, not since 1979 in the league, in truth. They're unbeaten in 3, but they don't do clean sheets away from home. You know, 1 clean sheet in 23 away games. Not impressive. Villa have got to pick themselves up after their setback at Manchester City last week, but I think they can do that. Unbeaten in 4 home Premier League games. Agbonlahor looks a real threat this season, doesn't he? And I think they'll just have too much firepower for the Baggies. I go for Villa to win by 2-1. Real dogfight this weekend at the Reebok. Bolton take on a Sunderland side who have an excellent record against Bolton. In fact, they've won the last 4 home and away and 5 of the last 6. And my goodness, Steve Bruce needs a result. I thought they played pretty well at the Emirates against Arsenal, though they lost in the end to that Robin van Persie free kick. They need to improve their away form, recover the sort of sparkle they showed when they drew at Liverpool in the opening game of the season. There was a bit of respite last week, of course, for Owen Coyle. Chris Eagles, very impressive in that win against Wigan. But I think that Sunderland might just continue that good form against Bolton. I go for them to win by 1-0. And at St James's Park, Newcastle take on what for me is the worst side in the Premier League at the moment, I'm afraid to say, in Wigan Athletic. Newcastle, their best unbeaten start since the 1994-95 season. Denver Bar, absolutely flying. And I think they'll continue in that sort of vein by beating Wigan quite comfortably by 2-0. Some tricky games down in the Championship. Steve Cotterill, the new manager of Nottingham Forest, got off to a flying start with that win over Middlesbrough in midweek. But they go to Blackpool. Now, Blackpool are difficult to beat at Bloomfield Road. Usually score as well. In fact, they've scored 7 in their last 2 home games. And I think after that bright start, Steve Cotterill might see that he's got quite a big task at the Forest. I go for Blackpool to win this one by 2-0. Leicester take on a Millwall side who are right down there amongst the relegation sides at the moment. Bit of a surprise that, because Kenny Jackett has worked wonders at Millwall in recent seasons, but they haven't won in 10 league games. Leicester, on the other hand, just finding a bit of momentum. Can't get away from a comfortable home win here. I'm going to go for Leicester to win by 3-0. Altogether harder to call, though, at the Riverside. Middlesbrough lost for the first time this season in midweek. They do draw a lot of their home games. They've drawn 5 of their last 6 home games. Far too many for Tony Mowbray. Marvin Emnes has rather dried up in front of goal as well. And for that reason, I think that Derby can go to the northeast and get a point. Another home draw. Middlesbrough 1, Derby County 1. So for our Super 6 this week, these are my scores. Aston Villa 2, West Bromwich Albion 1. I go for Sunderland to win by 1-0 at Bolton. For Newcastle to beat Wigan comfortably by 2-0. Same scoreline at Bloomfield Road in Blackpool's favour against Nottingham Forest. Leicester to beat Millwall by 3-0. And Middlesbrough and Derby to play out a 1-1 draw. So £100,000 at stake, £5,000 consolation prize. It's free to register. Sky Sports /Super6. Press your red button and you could be £100,000 richer sometime after 5 o'clock on Saturday evening. But when we announce the winner on Soccer Saturday, well, that's not quite it for the weekend, because we're going to open everything up again immediately that winner is announced for our Super 6 Sunday special. Of course, it's the Manchester derby this weekend. United at home to Manchester City. We want your predictions as to what the score might be this time round. All those who get the correct score will then go into a prize draw, and 5 people will find themselves each £1,000 richer. So we just want to know the correct score in that Manchester derby. My ideas on this, well, I think the Manchester United are stronger going forward. Got more options, that is for sure, with Rooney and Hernandez and Welbeck. As far as City are concerned, dare they risk Mario Balotelli in the furnace of Old Trafford? I don't think so somehow. I think there'll be goals. Too hard to call, really, for me. 2-2 I'm going to go for, sitting on the fence once again. So that's it for this weekend. Don't forget that Sunday special as well. The very best of luck to you. I'll be back with more thoughts next week.